I want to welcome you again, Dr. Schneider, it's good to see you.
It's wonderful to be on your show again.
Yes. As I mentioned earlier, many, if not most, of our listeners are familiar with your story. But if you don't mind, just for some of the newer members that's listening, perhaps for the first time hearing you, could you just share a little bit of your journey from blindness to driving all through the world, California and all over?
So, I was born in the Ukraine, actually, in the Soviet Union in that time. And I had already, when my family left Ukraine to Israel, I already had a surgery in Poland, 4 more in Israel, 5 surgeries. Each one of them was less successful than the other. And 99% of my lens became scar tissue. My 2 kids, like myself, were born with cataract. And I had 2 problems. One is that the surgeries were really bad ones. But the other one was that they were done in the wrong time. I'm now working with a girl from Germany whose surgery was done in the 11th week. You're supposed to do the surgery the first 2 or 3 weeks so the brain develops normally at the age of 8 weeks. But that was only discovered long after my time. And what happened is I was raised as a blind kid. I was very active. I was the quickest Braille reader in the state of Israel. And I thought that my future will be as a blind person until I discovered eye exercises by a kid who was a high school dropout, but he developed the Bates method further. And all my family opposed it, by the way. And they thought that I'm diluting myself. And I went ahead and did my exercises. I was known as the blind son of Ida and Abraham, who were in the deaf community of Tel Aviv. So everyone in Tel Aviv who was deaf knew about the blindo who lived in a certain street in Tel Aviv. And I found refuge in reading Braille. But then once I did the eye exercises, I've done nothing else. I spent 13, 16 hours a day. Teachers in high school started to complain to my parents that I'm spending too much time doing eye exercises. They complain to the principal. They complain everywhere. I'm doing something wrong doing eye exercises. We'd go outside to read biblical studies, and I would do sunning, which is closing my eyes and moving my head from side to side. And nothing stopped me. Nothing deterred me from doing the exercises.
Now, about how old were you then?
I was then a little bit less than 17.
Okay.
And what happened next was that people started to admire me because all of a sudden my vision improved from 1% to 4%, and I would see general details a bit better. I would see big letters in signs, and I started to see better and better. Then my family started to accept my work. And I would say that I had real significant improvement in the first 4.5 years when it came to 20% of normal vision. Now, 70% of normal vision. I read, write, and drive. And yeah, I'm a careful driver, I would say. I'm more cautious about me and my vision. But nevertheless, the DMV gave me license for the last 40 years in California. A little bit more relaxed.
That's 40 years.
Yeah. Right.
All right now.
And so I'm really so happy. When I got my driver's license, it was almost like getting a Nobel Peace Prize. It's fantastic. And I'm a cautious driver, I must say. I don't trust myself to do all kinds of manipulations of the road. You won't see me, driving and zigzagging or anything of that nature. Once in the Chronicle, they quoted me when I said, if you see someone driving 55 miles an hour on the freeway and he's not 85, it's me. Yeah. So that's what I do. But that success was huge. And I've learned that the potential that the body has to improve have never been correctly explored by the medical profession. And for that reason, I worked on so many other things. For example, they tell you muscular dystrophy, the muscles died, and there's nothing you can do about it. Multiple sclerosis, the nerve, the myelin sheath disappears, the impulse is slow, sluggish, there's nothing you can do about it. ALS, the nerves died, nothing you can do about it. Arthritis, well, take this medication, that medication. Spine pain, it will never go away. I disagree with all of that. And I found that there are exercises for different things. You just have to labor enough to find what helps you get better. So I won't talk much about that, but I'll just say, for example, in muscular dystrophy, I've learned, that one of the problems is that the muscle cells keep trying to pump out the waste, and the waste comes back because the plasma is too vulnerable and allows the waste to come back. So then the muscle simply gets wiped out. When you get injured, you never heal, and then the person gets much worse. Well, I was able to prolong people's life by 10 years, 15 years, by learning to do with them body work that drains that fluid and teaching them exercises that can repeat in a pool. And I can tell you about all the other things. This is all in my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. But I just want to say, when I discovered that I have 1% of lens that admits light through, that I don't have an original memory of vision like the other people have, that you can actually find a way for the brain to be more with more plasticity, and you can find a way for the elastic part of the brain and the visual system to start and work. Then I translated it to totally different exercises with people with nerve disease and muscle disease and others, because it's very important for us to know that when others give up on us, we should never give up on ourselves.
That's right. That's right. So you're one of those guys I would call crazy.
Absolutely. Anytime we do some, once in DC, we did exercises in front of George Washington University in the park near it. And, we put obstructive lens over the strong eye, threw in caught balls. And we saw some students looking at us. And I was saying to myself, they're probably asking, what are they smoking, Anyway, so we're doing all kinds of exercises on the beach. Everybody in this area knows about our weirdo classes.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because, to me, it's crazy to accept disease.
Yeah.
But people look at us as being crazy because we want to restore a disease. Now, as you spoke, and I don't recall if you addressed the issue of Alzheimer's in your book. Do you talk about that?
I did not address the issue of Alzheimer's, but I think that the way to work also on Alzheimer's is exactly when it starts to happen. And that is work on memory exercises and to do a lot of physical exercises to bring more blood to the head. Because people's stress and lack of circulation affects the brain building factors like BDNF. So if you want the BDNF to start and work, which can really build up cells in the brain, first of all, you have to go to Dr. Watkins and get his diet and really go by the book. But then you also need to do exercises. You need to get also good body work in your neck to bring more blood to the head. And you have to work on memory. For example, I think that everyone, to prevent Alzheimer's, needs to study something new in every decade of their life. Could be a new hobby, could be a new class of some sort. But the nice things about the world these days, and I would say in the United States, we see a lot of this positivity, that you see people going in their 60s to community college to either study a language or another skill. That is so important. The brain is like a muscle. You got to exercise it. You can't just allow yourself to lose memory and allow that loss of memory to continue. What you have to do is reduce your stress. I remember yesterday, I made the mistake of speaking to my partner for a long time. She's very helpful in my office. And we talked about business. And I said, my goodness, I'm walking in the park. I'm breathing wonderful smells from the trees. That's what I should be focused on and not on any routine. And so I think it's, again, every 10 years of your life, ask yourself, am I studying something that I did not do before anything? Or am I staying in the same routines I've had before? Because doing that is a safe Alzheimer.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that was very influential in me actually leaving surgery and pursuing alternative medicine, if you please, was the fact that one of my friends told me that of this group that he was on a board of a nursing home, and they took the clients out and walked them, literally put them on leashes and walked them. And when they got them up to 5 miles a day, their memories came back, you know. And we now know that there's something called cardiogenic dementia, where the vessels in the brain look like the vessels in the heart, so that this degeneration that you talked about and referred to is very relevant. And doing those eye exercises and walking and other things, I mean, not eye exercises, neck exercises that you talked about, and walking and so forth, and eating the proper diet makes a difference. And getting your mind focused. You know, we do the 4 P's in our practice. What is your passion? What is God's purpose? A plan, and the production of that plan. You know, getting people to move and not be in a rut. But getting back to your program, go ahead.
We die to a routine. It's interesting. Today I was walking a distance of about 3 miles. I walked to my bank, and somebody saw me say, "Hey, what are you not doing on the beach?" And I regretted going to the bank, because a day like today, I should go to the beach. We have a cold ocean in San Francisco. From time to time, I still, at the age of 68, bathe in it. Can you imagine? I used to bathe even in the wind. But talking about the corneal, or the lady with a corneal problem, she came for the 6-day seminar, and the last day, the 5 days were the best weather you can imagine. But the 6th day, it was windy. I took the class to a balcony that watches the waves, and after about 10 minutes, we have to go back. As much as they wanted to do it, we still worked outside in our backyard at the school. But this lady, went to the ocean in the wind, froze herself. Then she came here, and we put her in the hot tub, put some nice hot herbs on her, relaxed her. But the blood circulation that she had have decreased her light sensitivity. So in spite of great damage to the cornea, where every surgeon that she sees wants her to replace the cornea, knowing that the surgery is actually not so successful and not so good in many cases, and the cornea gets rejected. They used to believe in it completely in the 80s and 90s. They don't believe in it as much these days. They keep telling her to change the cornea, and she wanted an alternative to it, and she improved by creating more circulation. I want to say also, Dr. Watkins, that working on your eyes does help the circulation. It helps the small vesicles that get to the brain. Okay. The optic nerve does improve your circulation. So there are a few ways to improve circulation. One through a lot of movement, and one through a lot of relaxation. And the combination of both is very powerful.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. You know, I understand that you've added another component to your arsenal of prevention and treatment for your clients. You know, tell us a little bit about what this new project you're doing.
So I just want to talk about the big problem that we have in the lockdown. You know, until now, we don't know if the lockout was a good idea or a bad idea, because on the one hand, it saved people's life. And on the other end, you hear about more people that lost their businesses, people who committed suicide, people who had heart disease, not enough medical emergency work for people. All kinds of things happened in that time. And what also happened, which was disastrous, is that people looked online all the time. Kids did not go to class; they looked online, and business people did business online. It's hard to bring them back to work these days, which is so much better, you know, to meet face to face. Although I feel very comfortable meeting the two of you online, but it's so nice to just meet face to face. And people did not do it much. Now, I've written my book, Vision for Life, long before the pandemic happened. And you interviewed me once on that, and you made a statistic, and you looked how many people have vision problems in this country, and it was already staggering. Now, I can tell you that a huge number of people who never had vision problems have vision problems. And it starts from mild ones, from problem to read from near to problems to see. All those problems have really happened to those people because of the use of the internet. And so we have a disease worldwide, which is basically repetitive eye syndrome. We have a problem in that we basically are overusing vision from near. We have to look at the distance. We have to also pay attention that we don't use enough our periphery. We also have to let the eyes rotate and move. Well, I decided that the world is in a sorry space, and I need to give people a class that will help them to, first of all, improve their own vision. Once they improve their vision and they know how well they can improve the vision, they can help others. So what I do is also bodywork techniques to help others.
Okay.
Magic techniques to help others. I teach them also the ups and downs of working on yourself, because not every day is bright. You know, sometimes you improve, sometimes you regress. All this happens in once. For example, I met a girl that we improved her vision greatly, but it regressed a little bit. She became sick. So when she's sick, it's kind of hard to see better, right? So there's all kinds of ways to improve and to know, to help the people when they're down, to help them move forwards when they're up. I teach all that in 40 hours. But the difference between that and many other classes is that if you came to my 6-day class, where 93% of people improve their vision, including
90 what?
93% of people improve their vision in 6 days, definitely.
All right.
You know, one of your good friends that is having also shows in your place that improve their vision, right? So,
yes. Doc.
Yes, exactly. And so the thing is that when you come to the 6-day class, I want to advise you to read my book, Vision for Life. But this time, you have to read it, answer some questions about it. There'll be some quizzes. So it's really a class. You really need to learn what I teach. You cannot just attend it. So that's what makes a big difference. And we are by the beach. And the class is from the 27th of April to the 1st of May. So people don't have to lose much of work because it's over a weekend. And I I'm happy to tell it in DC, because if you want to go for a San Francisco vacation, that's a good time to come.
I tell you. So
I hope to convince Marsha to come, because she should.
yes. I talked to her just a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if she'll be back from her African trip at that time, but at any rate, the thing that I got from reading your material is that you're taking it to another level. You are making sure that people actually put in the work to get the results. All right.
Exactly.
Put in the work and expect to get the results.
Exactly.
So if you get 93% with people, many of them not having read the book and not doing the kinds of things that you are requiring in this new class, I mean, you should be getting close to 100% with this one.
Absolutely. And unlike the other class, which is 4 or 5 hours each, except for the 5th day when we do night walk, this class is going to be 8 hours each. And we'll even
8 hours.
8 hours. And we'll even have one of the specialists of vision who studied with me, but is a very good optometrist from Brazil, giving us an anatomy and physiology lesson to explain the work that we're doing on Zoom. So we have a lot of knowledge. It's compact, but it is like every day you work. One lady had a cataract surgeries, but the eyes don't work together. Well, she'll come to the class. She fitted her implants from far. Well, I will teach her how to read without glasses from near. All that we'll do in the class. We'll have a lady with a great corneal problem, and she'll work in the class. So people will come and see how each one of us improve, and I'll have individual attention, improve their situation as they work with us in the class. And so that is what's so important about the class, that you work on your own improvement, but then you learn about key points. And I want to say already to the audience, we have wonderful points in the bottom of the skull that one of them is a concavity, which is called the foramen magnum, where a lot of nerves come up, and we have the styloforamen, where nerves come up and where blood circulates, and we learn to press on them and to get more circulation into the head. By the way, that's also good for Alzheimer, but we do all of that. We walk and run on the beach. We look at the waves on the beach. It's like a real nice vacation from wherever.
Yeah, it's interesting as I'm listening. You're using a principle that we were taught in medical school. You see one, you do one, you teach one. So that this is and the reason that they taught us that way, it's a form of rapid learning. All right. A form of rapid learning. You see it, you do it, then you teach it, and that's exactly what you're doing.
It's so beautiful to see. I don't know if anyone knows, but Dr. Watkins has waves behind him in the picture.
Yes. They can't see my waves.
Yeah. People will have waves and horizons in our class to look at. And so it's really class which is called Vision for Life, coach and mentor, that comes to help you see better. First of all, see better. And then a lot opens in you to help others to see better as well. Because I think we need a critical mass of people. The medical profession is misguiding us. They're telling you, oh, you don't see well? Here are glasses. Oh, your eyes have degenerated. Now you have cataract. Here is the surgery. Your retinal detached. We'll fix it. Macular degeneration, if it's bleeding, we'll stop the bleeding for a while. So it's always a patch approach, never thinking for a second that there are things you can do to see better. For example, if we look at the computer a lot, we should at least look 20 minutes a day at a distance. If we don't pay attention to the periphery, we should wave our hands to the side so we have better periphery. If one eye dominates the other, we should strengthen the eye that's being dominated and get the eyes to work together. And it's so fun. We do card games with red and green glasses, where one red sees cards of one color and the green sees cards of another color, and we make the brain gets the two eyes to work together. And we do it in a fun game. And all my classes are fun. People love coming to my class. I pay attention that no one is ever late to my class. And I don't, because they really want to come. Many people come before the class begins, basically.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. The number here is 202-588-0893, 202-588-0893. We have Dr. Meir Schneider, a friend to this program and this station, and the DC area in general for many, many years. And he has a new class that he's starting. But if you have questions or comments, give us a call. Once again, the number is 202-588-0893. So Dr. Schneider, approximately how many people around the world have you served over these last 40 or so years?
Myself, about 10,000, but I've helped others to serve others. For example, I'm invited to Barcelona. And by the way, the lady from Barcelona is going to come here for this class. So don't think that DC is far, right? But I'm invited. I was invited to Barcelona to teach people who already studied natural to work with low vision patients. I'm invited to Paris to do the same thing. So I
know you go to the Black Forest in Germany also.
I did several times. I worked in the Black Forest in Germany, very close to Switzerland, and that's where I met, by the way, the client. You know, I want to tell you the story. Marlies, the girl I'm talking about, was born with cataracts, but it was not noticed. And by the way, I'm sure that Dr. Watkins, when you will see an infant and you will detect that they may have cataract, you immediately want to send them for surgery. So let's understand that we do not oppose some of the medical practice, right? Immediately you send them to a surgeon, and a special pediatric ophthalmologist. Don't even waste the time sending them to an ophthalmologist. But what happened is, in her case, they only discovered it at the 11th week of her life. Weeks later, then the brain basically gives up on vision, and the child should be legally blind. So I met her at the age of 2.5 in the Black Forest. Her mom came to a workshop of mine, and we started to do with her exercises. She's very, very intelligent girl, was very intelligent baby. And what happened is, because she developed without real good vision, it was something like 5%. She looked when we told her to look, but she basically listened and felt. Until these days, I even feel sometimes a landline instead of looking at it, right? But she basically behaved as a legally blind person. Because the difference between a sighted person and legally blind person is that for them, vision is like some addition. It's not something they really pay attention to. And so what happened is, her mom was so devoted. She brought her throughout the years to anywhere I was. I met her first in the Black Forest, then I met her again in the Black Forest. And when I did workshops in other places, like in Frankfurt, she came to Frankfurt. When I taught a workshop in Nimes, France, south of France, she flew to south of France. She flew to Israel to work with me in Israel. And she said, okay. And last time I said, I can't let you just do that. So I went to her home in Germany. It was 2 hours from the closest airport. You know, they live in a beautiful village called Brim. And I saw the girl in her home. And what happened that time is that I was able to slow down the nystagmus in the right eye, but the left eye got so much stronger that she was able to look at houses, at signs, at everything. She was able to do that. And all of a sudden, I saw her looking at flowers, looking at plants, looking at new things. And by the way, when she saw numbers of houses, she said, I did not know that houses near us had numbers. And her vision, and she jumped from being legally blind to sighted. She actually led herself with a sight. It took us 6 years, from the age of 2.5 to 8.5. But her brain changed direction from being legally blind into being sighted. Now she's coming, by the way, to Quebec. I'm going to Quebec, Canada next week. And she already scheduled herself for 10 sessions. She told me, her mother wrote to us, there's spring vacation, summer vacation. Tell me where you are so I can bring my girl. By the way, Canada is cheaper to go to than the United States. And I was happy because in August, I want to teach my training course. So I said, okay, we'll meet in Canada. I immediately bought the ticket. And the mother said, oh, wait, let me think about it. But a week later, she got the ticket. She's coming. So can you imagine how devoted the mother is? And
I'm telling you,
without which we could not get her to switch from legal. It's not only a question of acuity, it's a question of use. To switch the brain from seeing the vision, the visual sense, as something secondary into getting that as a primary sense. That is very exciting.
That's exciting. And you know, the mother and the daughter had to really work very, very, very hard to get there. The number here is 202-588-0893, 202-588-0893. Let's go to our phone. Just call her. You're on the line.
Hello?
Yes, caller.
Dr. Watson, this is David Allen. I've been following you for years. And hello to your guest. My daughter is not 8.5 weeks pregnant, and she lost her eyesight in one eye last week or a week and a half. I mean, I said last week, and she was throwing up, and she ruptured or strained the eye, and now she has no vision in that eye.
So what caused her to lose the vision, according to physicians?
Excuse me, say it again.
He asked, what is the doctor saying is the cause of the loss of vision?
Now, she's been to the eye doctor, then she went to the the professional, and they're doing a thing on her today. She's in there as we speaking, and so far nothing.
So they don't know why she lost her vision.
Yeah, it could be easily the optic nerve instead of the eye itself. If you don't get enough circulation to the optic nerve. I'm working on somebody from Mexico that he had COVID and he got secondary stroke from the COVID, and he lost about 99% of his vision. And we're working diligently. He came to me 3 times, and now he has 10% vision. So we gained a lot of vision back. He can start and see more details. So, sir, I thank you for calling. I want to know more details so I can advise you, first of all, to see if we bring back vision, and if we can't, how to preserve the vision in the other eye.
Just stay tuned. We're going to have Dr. Schneider give his number shortly.
All right.
You know, there are a number of other questions that need to be asked. If there are any concomitant diseases or what have you that she might have. But the number here is 202-588-0893. That's 202-588-0893. Let's go back to our phones. Yes, caller. You're on the line. stay tuned. We're going to have Dr. Schneider give his number in short. We're having difficulty. Are you on a speakerphone?
Yes. No, I'm not on speakerphone. I'm going to turn down my radio. I'm on my house phone.
Okay. Turn the radio down.
Okay.
Off.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Question?
Yes. Hello, Dr. Watkins, and to your guests. So informative and very educational. And I've already ordered the book, and I'd love to take a vacation out to see and take some of the classes. I had a concussion, and I've kind of. They said that my whole visual system was knocked out, and my eyes weren't converging, and then the brain wasn't sending a signal to the eyes. So my question is, first of all, does Dr. Schneider work with, or has worked with patients that have had concussion and had their whole visual system disrupted? Because now I'm finding out all the information is that the eyes, the brain and the eyes, how they work together. So I'm looking to improve, because sometimes I can barely see some days, and then some days it's better.
Absolutely. You definitely are explaining how concussions work. I do work, and I will work with people with concussion. And by the way, sometimes people who get hurt from medical treatment, which are shocking the visual system as well. I've seen that as well. So I would love for you to come for a good San Francisco vacation, a bit longer than the class. If you can come to me for a few sessions before the class, so we can work together both with body work and eye exercises, then intensify it in the class, and then stay for a couple of sessions after the class, you will go back with much, much better vision and with good exercises to keep working for the next year to create better adjustment between the brain and the optic nerve.
That sounds amazing, because I do some eye work. I have had the visual therapy, and after a year, I'm still having some issues. So thank you so much, and I'm enjoying reading your book.
All right, fantastic. You know, it's amazing. Vision is such an important thing, but often we take it for granted. And as you're teaching us, Dr. Schneider, that there's so much that we can do. One, to preserve our vision, and then even after there's some deficit, and as I think I mentioned that there's some million people in this country who are blind. So there's things that we can do to help to restore the vision, as well as preserve it.
I really believe that people who are legally blind can find a way to see better. Look at me. I was legally blind. I had 1% vision. I have 70% vision now, and I'm not my best case either.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, as I mentioned earlier, you're crazy. You're willing not to accept what others say, but read your own heart and be willing to do what's necessary. Mm-hmm. It wasn't enough for you just to say, I like to see. You had to go against mama, daddy, principal, doctor, probably were laughed at by some of your classmates, but still you pursued, and now you can see.
Absolutely.
The number is 202-588-0893, 202-588-0893. We just have a couple minutes left, but let's quickly go back to our phones. Let's call her. You're on the line.
Yes, hi. Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Watkins. And thank you for the doctor who's on. I bought his book about a year ago, and I love it. I'm calling because my son contracted COVID, and he is still having a lot of brain fog and fatigue. And is there anything that you can offer, both doctors offer or suggest for him to get better, relieve that?
Yeah, so first of all, it's important to get more circulation for the fatigue. So I love bunger balls, like to take a bunger ball and massage your whole body with it. Massaging himself will make a very big difference. He needs to learn when to rest, to never push himself beyond his capacity. But at the same time, he needs to be active and do some good walks in good places like the park, not just on cement. And I think my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing, talks very nicely about breathing. He should really work with every exercise there to breathe better. And that he really should consult with Dr. Watkins about a good diet.
Yes. Dr. Watkins?
Yeah, I would agree that diet is very, very important. How old is your son?
31.
31, yes. Yeah,
So
diet is very important, as is exercise, and complete lifestyle. You know, you have to be willing to make a complete lifestyle change, and if we do that, then we can expect to significantly improve our health.
Send him to San Francisco for a nice ocean beach vacation.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Dr. Watkins, are you seeing patients, and where can I get information about, diet and lifestyle change? He has a couple of other concerns. I mean, he's had the COVID now for four days.
Yeah. We'll give our number out and Dr. Schneider's number too in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
And you can contact us. So Dr.
Great.
Schneider, if one comes to your class, what can they expect to get? And then after that, we have a question that was texted.
Minimally, they can expect 25% vision improvement when they leave the class. And maximally, they can expect a full...
So wait a minute. The class is the weekend?
Yeah. It's Thursday through Monday. So it's 5 days, 8 hours a day.
And 25% improvement in that shorter period of time.
Actually, minimum, right? And then what they can also expect is to get wonderful techniques to coach others to do the same and to mentor. They're not practitioners in my work. Those are longer classes. But other people, just like this nice lady who called us right now, who want to use the book, who want to work with the book, they can sit down and say, you can do this and that. They can also meet and do a little bit of body work with the people, go with them over the exercises and help them do it. That's what they can get, and they get a certification for that in 5 days.
Brother Frank, what's the question from the text?
The question is, and it's from Joni, Dick Gregory's daughter wants advice about laser eye surgery.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I mean, the question is which? Is it LASIK? Don't do it. If it's laser for the retina or something, then sometimes it's a very important thing. So which laser? If it's LASIK, don't do it.
That I'm not sure. I'll try to get clarification in the
and the interesting thing, a lot of people who are getting laser surgery because they have a retinal bleeding, that can be stopped if they're willing to change their diet. It's amazing what just a change of diet can do to stop the bleeding, one, and to also help to restore the retina. And so, go ahead.
I know the opposite too. One lady ate Chinese food, and there was a bacteria that her gastrointestinal could not stop, went straight to her retina and caused bleeding in her macula. So eating pure food is definitely something very important to bring better circulation to the retina. There's no question about that.
Yes. So Dr. Schneider, what's the date of your class?
The date of the class is April 27th through May 1st. So it is 5 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And people can really work better. We will help to find accommodation. We don't give accommodation, but we give you a list of good places, not expensive, to stay in San Francisco. And people will come from many different places to study with us, and we will give everyone individual attention.
So go ahead, Frank, were you going to say something?
Website, contact info.
Oh yeah, contact information.
Website is www.self-healing.org. It's best to write to office manager at self-healing.org. The other contact is the phone number, which is 415-665-9574.
Okay, give that again, Doc.
415-665-9574.
And how about the website again?
www.self-healing.org, and write to office manager at self-healing.org.
Fantastic,
Okay.
fantastic.
And if you want to get in contact with Dr. Theodore Watkins, his telephone number, the office number is 202-388-0991. And his website is TWI
0992. 0992.
And I'll give that again, 202-388-0992. And the website is twiliving.com. TWI stands for the Watkins Institute. twiliving.com.
All right, we're gonna try to take one last quick caller. We just have about a minute. Yes, caller, you're on the line.
Oh, hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, quickly.
Okay, I just had a quick question about a macular hole. Is that a surgical procedure, or is that something can be done with exercise and change of diet?
Well, the surgical procedure normally is removing the vitrectomy. I don't like it. And our work can really make a difference for macular hole, and people end up seeing better with the exercises.
Okay, so I'm sorry, go ahead.
People do see better with the exercise, definitely.
Okay, that's awfully good to know. I thank you so much.
My pleasure.
You know, once again, Dr. Schneider, what you have demonstrated is that if a person is willing to change, all right, if a person is willing to change, they have unlimited potential. We want to just thank you again for being here and for helping to educate our public. And we pray that you'll have very good success with this class, because if people come and participate in the class, they will benefit themselves, and now they'll then be able to go out and benefit others. Brother Frank, we just want to go ahead.
Because the world is suffering, because so many more people have vision problems. The medical profession has limited response, very much a Band-Aid response. We need to create a revolution with no name, with no flag, a revolution that can help people see better.
Yeah. You know, it just hit me that we must do more. People like yourself, myself, you know, we're getting ready to do this big program with diabetes reversal, because we recognize that people don't have to be sick. And that's what you're saying. People don't have to be sick. You know, people don't like to admit it, but it's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice. And so we are praying that many people will choose to take this course and get well. Frank, any party words?
Nope. Thank you, Dr. Schneider. And your attitude is amazing. It's the get well attitude, 16 hours a day, whatever it took
as a young teenager.
As a young kid.
So thank you both. You're very special people. Thank the audience, and I hope that it will contribute to the existence of this first class I ever taught. So thank you very much.
All right, and this is Dr. Theodore Watkins. The program is To Your Health.
After listening to this radio show, you can understand that I meet a lot of opposition to my work. You see, there are two kinds of regulations, two kinds of laws. One kind of law is a law of justice, and that means, unfortunately, it's not happening enough in San Francisco. If you steal something, then you would be prosecuted for stealing something. If you rob a bank, you'll be prosecuted for robbing a bank. But then there's another kind of regulation, and that is the powerful and rich regulate the rest of us. Guess who is the most powerful and rich in the United States? The medical profession. They regulated the law against people who do anything separate than what they do. In California, we advanced a lot, but not only in California, in many, many places. I'll talk about it another time. But you can understand how I could stand up to the medical profession and their grotesque laws and was able to keep my practice going for 52 years without being stopped by them. I wouldn't say without worrying about them, but without being stopped by them. And you listen to my show next week and we'll discover new things. You will come to the January 31st. And if you come to my class, you will discover why I fought so hard to keep teaching. Because I feel that the world needs correction. And I feel that I'm working exactly in that direction. Many blessings to all of you, Meir.